What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Super pumped. Got a very cool guest with us today. She's got great energy. She's just smiling and lighting up the screen. She's an international speaker, blogger, author, and consultant. She is also a productivity specialist. Please welcome Dr. Melissa Gratias. Do you call you doctor?
I'm sorry.
You want me to call you doctor?
No. Please call me Melissa.
Well, Melissa.
Or Your Highness.
Okay.
Or the goddess of light and beauty. Just take your pick.
I like that. Give me options. That's perfect. Well, I love what you do. And so, before we started recording, I said, I had someone on that was more about organization, and you said that productivity and organization is different. I'm curious so that we can tell the audience, why is productivity different than being organized?
Productivity it has a different focus than organization / clutter reducing. Some of the techniques are the same, and I love helping clients. I started out helping clients organize paper, and it was fun. It was tactile, and boy, could you see a difference immediately. In the past 8 or 9 years, though, about 100% of what I am doing with clients is helping my groups, my coaching clients manage tasks, manage their calendar, manage email and electronic files to a lesser extent, manage projects, manage processes. So all these things that are less touchy-feely, that like the paper. I love the paper. And at the same time, we have our lives and our work and our priorities to organize. So I guess it may be just a different target of the intervention.
Yeah. I love how you smile and how excited you get talking about it. So you weren't always productive in your life.
Oh, no. Productivity is a skill set, not a personality trait. Let's say that right off the bat here, because it has to be practiced. It has to be, there are tools that you need. It grows over time. It must morph as your life and as your job situation changes. Yeah. So productivity is a skill set. Now, there are certain personality traits that contribute to a person being able to more easily be systematic and organized. Things like conscientiousness and other lovely, things that dictate when you're a kid, you line your socks up in your sock drawer. I was not any of those. And on every personality test known to psychology, and that's what my doctorate is in psychology. And every personality test, I test out as this fly by the seat of my pants kind of person who thinks that calendars are for people who just can't remember stuff. And early in my career, Deanna, I was throwing more and more hours at my problems because I had a high bar for myself, very high goals.
Type A.
Yeah, type A. Yeah, get it done. I'm not a life can just happen kind of person. Oh no, I wanted to get a lot of things done, so I just worked longer. I just started working through lunch, and I developed and tried to attain this unreasonable standard of perfectionism.
Okay.
And which then exacerbated everything else because, oh goodness, I'd love to talk about that. And I realized when I had my daughter and I looked at this baby and I liked her, and I didn't want to get her locked in baby jail for not picking her up at the daycare when I was supposed to, that I realized I had to do things differently.
Yeah.
And I had to work differently. So I taught myself the skill set of productivity. And when I felt the results and I felt the relief, I, as my husband says, I up and quit my job and opened up this company in 2007.
That's amazing. So how long did it take you to become a productivity specialist?
I've been working at this full time since 2007.
Okay.
I would say when I was still in corporate America, I estimate it was around a 7-year odyssey of taking every course that my company offered. Yeah. I mean, reading every book Steven Covey ever thought about writing, and until I finally got to the point where I'm like, I can handle my work from a tactical perspective and get a lot done. And I don't have to keep working longer and longer and longer hours to get the same stuff done.
So what does that mean, working from a tactical perspective, point of view?
It means we are looking at how we use tools. Okay. That we recognize it's not all about the tool, because, right. You could give me a really fancy nail gun and I will look at it and go, I just need a hammer. Thank you very much. And so it's not all about the tool. It's about how we interface with the tool. Yeah. And so it's really tactical. For example, Deanna, I'll have a client, mm-hmm. and we will go through a series of questions to get to their needs, like their needs for portability, their needs for tactile nature, the kinds where their tasks arrive from. And once we arrive at a tool, we get down to the nitty gritty, open the thing up and start entering tasks. Okay. Because I think so much of the productivity literature that is being released is esoteric. It's theoretical. Yeah. And that's good. We need to have sound, psychologically based supported theories undergirding our productivity methodologies. But when it comes down to it, not everybody can take that ivory tower theory and immediately apply it to their work. Yeah. Because it's confusing and hard, and there's lots of friction in between point A and point B.
That makes sense. That was a great answer. How long does it take someone to learn how to be productive when they work with you?
My base package of coaching is a 3-month engagement. Okay. And from there, I tell my clients, I want us to reassess and say, all right, at this point, you can re-up and we can do another package of coaching. Sure. Or you can say, I'm good for now. Yeah. And half of my clients say, I'm going to re-up. This is awesome. I want to learn more. And half of my clients say, I am good for now. Thank you. So it's an intervention-based approach, Deanna. It's not, I don't seek to become the coach that stays with a client throughout their life and throughout their career. I like to come in and get the work done. And I typically tell a client that when we get your tools in order and you practice them, I would be surprised if it didn't last you, for example, 3 years. In 3 years, all of our jobs and lives change anyway, because that's the nature of the world. But my clients are typically set for a good 3-year period, and then they might call back and say, "Ooh, need to tweak something," and so and we work on it that way. Yeah.
Well, I would think that as a productivity coach, if they're coming back over and over again, they're not truly getting productive in their lives.
Exactly. Yeah. So they and I want them to be productive. I want them to fly, little birdies, and go live and apply the skills that they've learned and their work to their home. Yeah. To teach it when I work with leaders of people, it's productivity skills are contagious, completely contagious. And a leader who is being more systematic and saying, hey, hold on a second, I need to task that. Then when that is a wonderful example that they provide to the folks with whom they work.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove. Ladies, let's talk about shapewear. We all know most shapewear makes you feel like you're being suffocated. That sexy dress in the back of your closet is so freaking cute, but the thought of having your insides squished by your shapewear is just not worth it. That's why Honeylove spent years researching and developing effective shapewear that's actually comfortable. Overly tight, cheap, and sticky fabrics that roll up are a thing of the past. Thanks to Honeylove, you can finally feel confident and comfortable in your favorite outfits. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time only, you can get Honeylove's best deal they offer. Get 20% off your entire order with the code LABEL320 at honeylove.com. That's right, ladies. Get 20% off of your entire order with LABEL320 at honeylove.com. I feel like I'm very systematic. I've always been. And so I've always been very productive, highly efficient, except for when I have other things going on. And like, I think when, as a coach, and I'm sure you probably could give us a story about this, like currently right now I'm moving, right? And so
Yes.
I'm all over the board and
Mhm.
I'm not being as productive as I like. And I'm typically very task oriented. I love to do my to-do lists. I like to check off my list, done, 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 done. But I am so scattered because I've got all this other stuff going on that it's harder for me to be productive in every area of my life. So when you work with someone, and I know this is short-lived, it'll be done soon and I'll be back to like my normal self. But when you work with someone, do you uncover things that perhaps are preventing them from being productive? Because I feel like there's sometimes underlying things that are going on for everyone when they're not reaching their full potential.
The single biggest cause of disorganization and productivity issues amongst my client population.
Yeah.
Now, keeping in mind, Deanna, that I work with people who are high achievers, want to invest in themselves. So these aren't people who have, gotten through life by sleeping. They really are people who want to get things done. But here it is, the biggest cause of productivity problems amongst my clients, both one-on-one and in my training classes, is perfectionism.
Yeah.
Perfectionism. It is saying that what I am doing is not good enough and I must throw more effort at whatever it is I am doing. So let's take this and apply it to your moving scenario, Deanna.
Okay.
Right now, you have seen your typical systems and tools of your to-do lists and such not motivating and inspiring action the way they used to.
Yes.
And you may be saying to yourself, not that you really are, because this is probably someone else, not you, but someone else, that would be saying to themselves during this time, I should be able to move my entire life and downsize all of my belongings and keep up with my business and keep up with my family and keep up with my...
Yeah.
That's not how it works. That is the inner perfectionist yammering at us. What I will tell you in your situation is your tendencies toward list making and productivity, they will be there when you get back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the primary benefit of that task list that is languishing right now is that it is waiting for you.
Yeah.
That you do not have to worry about forgetting those things.
Yeah.
That as soon as the move has passed, like you said, this is a temporary thing, that as soon as the move has passed, that you pick it back up and you will be able to re-engage so much faster.
For sure.
I mean, you'll be back in full swing in a day.
Yeah.
Because you'll have these productivity tools are just kind of, they're on the back burner, but it's like maybe it's a crock pot. They're on slow cook right now.
Yeah. Do your clients, that's like, it's all perfectionism that they struggle with that prevents them from really being truly 100% productive? Because they've got so many different things going on.
Oh, there's lots of causes of productivity issues. I would say perfectionism is the most salient, and in that a client will, it's pervasive. Perfectionism can cause a person to not start a project, for example, for fear, if I can't finish it perfectly, I'm not even going to begin.
Yeah.
It can cause a person to not finish a product because they're constantly tweaking and retooling and over-engineering the results. And when they do finish, perfectionism is that voice in the back of our head saying, what could you have done differently? This really isn't good enough. It's not as good as you think it is. So what I have done is that not only do I talk through, of course, with my coaching clients and in my training courses, I talk about the fact that perfection is not productive. Perfection is not productive. And my tactical piece of advice in those scenarios is go for the 80. Which sounds ridiculous, but let me elaborate. Go for the 80 is from 80% of your tasks, if you get them 80% perfect, it's good. I mean, you're probably done. Now, I kid you not, in my last class, I had a class last week on Thursday, and there was a man participating in the class who, I kid you not, defused bombs for the military. Oh, wow. And I said, Cody, you go ahead and be perfect, man. You think
Yeah, exactly.
you
You know,
go for the 80, be a perfect bomb diffuser.
yeah.
So it doesn't apply all the time, but go for the 80 is what I encourage people to do. And really also, Deanna, take a look at from whence their perfectionism came.
Yeah.
And typically it's childhood.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm sure of that. So what does it look like when somebody wants to work with you?
I love people call me based on my YouTube channel, and they say, all right, I don't even know what a productivity coach does, but are you going to be mean to me? And I say, first of all, no, there is no meanness here. What it looks like to work with me is a love fest between yourself and your future selves.
Yeah.
Really treating future selves with love and respect and desire for their success.
Yeah.
And then we work toward that. We say, what does that look like? And it's giving today's self some things to do.
Yeah.
In order to let tomorrow and beyond selves flourish.
I love that.
So it's a lot of love. It's a lot of laughter, and lots of hands-on, tactical, practical implementation of the skills. I'm not just going to tell a client, you go make a list. I'm going to be there when it's being made and say, wait, here, there, and do the, and what do you think about that? Let me ask you a question there.
Yeah.
So that they can, I take it as a thought exercise, as a on the job training kind of approach, where I give them real-time feedback, and then they get 2 weeks to practice it. And then we come back again and look at it, and they get 2 weeks to practice. So that's what it looks like to work with me.
That's awesome. And so your one-on-one coaching is different than the class that you're talking about.
Yes. I work for companies like Regions Bank and Volkswagen, and they have me as part of their training curriculum at their organization. So I do a lot of online training for larger companies. I don't do any open enrollment yet. I do, however, my goal for next year is to develop more online training programs that clients can come on my website and purchase. And the first one, I launched it 2 months ago. I'm so excited. My first online training course is called Unwrapping Perfectionism.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's I included poetry and videos and images and activities to help people help themselves and the children in their lives as well. Because I'm just, you like to be a diverse person. I'm a children's book author as well. So I developed a training course for grownups and the children that they love to have meaningful conversations about perfectionism, to not only address it in the grown-up's mind and heart, but to set the example for the child that this is not a healthy way to live. Yeah.
Well, that would be great for my niece, because I think she's really into being a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. She's like 6, I think now, 7. She's gonna be 7.
Yep. Sounds like it.
So tell us a little bit about you've written 6 books. So all on productivity. What's your favorite one, or what do you recommend someone was just like starting to get into the productivity mode that they could go check out?
My favorite of the books that I've got on my website is my book about setting goals. Okay. Because if you if a person, not you, but if a person is only focused on the tasky day-to-day things, which are important, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I just posted a blog this morning that if we're only focused on task management, it's like walking around the woods looking at our feet.
Yeah.
And so we need to look at our feet to make sure we're not stepping in holes, but we also need to glance up at the mountaintop in the distance. Otherwise, we're just going to spin around in circles. So setting goals is very important. It's research-based. It's psychological. It's easy. Yeah. It's also very uncomfortable. So, and goal setting will be my second online course that I will be launching. It's called Goal Setting Sucks. Do it anyway.
I love it. Awesome. Where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Oh, thank you for asking. My last name is easy to pronounce and impossible to spell. So, but my last name is spelled Gratias. So it looks like Gratias or Gratias, but it's melissagracious.com. So, and I'd love for people to go there or just email me at getproductive@melissagracious.com. I love just receiving an email from a real person and responding back as a real person.
Yeah, that's always awesome. You guys, I'm going to put those links in the show notes. So don't hesitate to reach out to Melissa and check out her books. If you're struggling with productivity, go set up a call with her and see if it might be a good fit to work with her and help you get you on the right path. I was gonna say task oriented, but I think that might be the wrong.
Yeah, I mean, task management is important.
Yes. Well, Melissa, this has been a great conversation. I love your energy. I have a million questions for you, so we might have to have you back for a part 2. This is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. So what would you like to leave with us today?
Strive for progress. Strive for completion. Don't strive for perfectionism, because it is the very opposite of excellence. It is telling ourselves we will never be good enough.
Ooh.
So strive for progress, strive for completion, go for the 80.
That was good. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing what you do and a piece of your story with us today. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to having updates from you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.